Alright, what's up guys? J-Swag here with another one. Another One Piece chapter review. Chapter 1084, The Attempted Murder of a Celestial Dragon. If only it was the actual murder of the Celestial Dragon. Anyways, we cut back to Pangaea Castle. We have Sabo kind of just destroying some of the knight-looking guards. They kind of look like sharks. They have like pointed helmets. The Knight Celestial Dragon guards. He's taking out some of them, and he is getting the keys. And while he's doing that, he's meeting Bonnie, who's here. And they're kind of just, they instantly are best friends. Instant charisma match. And they skip the small talk, and they are going right into looking for Kuma. And Bonnie's like, you know, I've kept tabs on the Revolutionary Army, so I don't even have to worry about you. Like, I already trust you. And Sabo's like, oh, cool, like, that's awesome. So, and then we get what I was talking about in the last chapter with Karasu and his fruit. We get a single bird of Karasu coming in, and he's taking the keys from Sabo so that they can unlock the keys of the slaves and the keys for Kuma's collar as well. So, this is kind of like, I don't even really know why Sabo and Bonnie are meeting here. I guess it's just to have them meet because as soon as this scene's over, she's leaving and going to A-Head, so she kind of just shows up and leaves right away. But they have this panel where Sabo has to jump up into the rafters with Bonnie because the guards almost catch them. But it's like, it's the same guards he just like kind of beat the crap out of, so I'm like, why does he even have to run away from them? But the reason he has to run away is because they're dropping exposition, and they're talking about this secret room, which is called the legendary Phantom Room. And I don't think that this is the empty throne room, or I don't even think it's the room with like the flowers and the moss growing on the walls that has the single sword that Eam is always looking at the wanted posters in. I think this is referring to the room, or the series of rooms slash like hallway that big frozen straw hat was in. So, and the one guy's like, idiot, that's nonsense, don't talk about that. So that's just something to think about. No one seems to know what that is, and that hasn't brought back up since then. That's like one of the biggest questions in the story. So there's that. And after that, so that puts in Sabo's mind to go looking around for stuff, and that's going to lead him into the throne room, which leads into the series of events that happened in the paper and that we've been hearing through the news in Wano all this time about Sabo killing Cobra and all of that action. So we cut to the empty throne room, and Cobra is talking to the Gorosei, and he's kind of just like history dumping here. He's talking about the 800 years ago, how there were the 20, and how each previous royal family left their kingdom, and all of their family members left the kingdom, except for Alabasta's Queen Lily. And the thing he wants to know is what happened to Lily, because her name isn't chronicled in any of Alabasta's legends or any of the documents about the Void Century. It's said that her younger brother was the one who ruled after the world government was founded. So Cobra wants to know what's happened to her, and the Gorosei kind of give him like a little BS answer, like, oh, it's been 800 years, like it's lost in the annals of history. And so, without the answer that he wants, which I don't even know why Cobra's asking this, but without that answer, Cobra asks another question. What's the meaning of D? And this is like Cobra's downfall here. Like, he should not have asked this question. This kind of hints to them that Lily and D are connected. And he says, and he even admits that they're connected, because he said that Queen Lily, and I don't know really how this works, because it says Queen Lily wasn't written in any of the histories, but then it says Queen Lily penned down the initial D and it was passed down through generations. So that happens. And so that's kind of like the little cliffhanger we're left on for that. It's what is the will of D? Like, it was written down in our histories for generations. And what's the meaning of it? So we cut away from that. We don't get the answer. And we get to what was set up in the last chapter with the ending where we had Shirahoshi, Vivi, CP0 watching Vivi, and then St. Charlos and Kuma. And we're seeing Charlos tell Kuma to capture Shirahoshi, and he's like chaining her up, and all the like nobles who were trying to court Shirahoshi are like running away, like she's gonna be a slave anyways, like who cares, like just get out of here. And her brothers are like trying to help, but Kuma is just like sending the laser out of his mouth and like jobbing them kind of. But we see Sai, who is the I'm not sure what kingdom exactly he's from, but he was Don Giro from Dressrosa, the guy with the pointy head that Luffy like reset the point in his head with that one hockey fist sick clash they had in the Coliseum. His son is here as like he came as like the reverie representative of his country, but he's there with the Don Quixote celestial dragon, and he's like, oh, can I have permission to like kick this guy's ass? And then we see Vivi talking to Leo, and they're like, oh my god, this guy's an asshole. And then Don Quixote's like, yeah, you have permission to beat him up. And we see this sick like joint attack of Leo doing his spinning tantada kick, and then this guy doing his like signature spinning like armament hockey kick, and they're just straight leveling Charlos into the ground. And I don't know how this man's not dying from this. God, like, I wish he dies here. Like, Oda doesn't like killing characters, but this is, like, the perfect opportunity. Why are you not? Unless he's, like, saving something more gruesome for him later, but, like, come on, man. Or maybe he's just keeping him to be the punching bag, and, like, he's just gonna keep getting wailed on for the rest of the series. I hope so, because this guy's such a piece of shit. I mean, like, he has no redeeming qualities whatsoever. I thought that punch Luffy delivered in, God, I can't remember arcs. Oh my gosh, what's the name? The bubble popping place where everyone got separated. Sabaody. I thought Luffy's punch in Sabaody put him in the dirt, but apparently not. He's still kicking. And so he's like crushed, like how Gear 5 Luffy looked when like Kaido smacked him in the head and his face bent around the club. He's like totally smushed into the dirt like an accordion. And we get a funny little panel of his dad, and his dad's like, look how they massacred my boy. And Oda just getting his little pop culture references in there. That's funny. But we see Morley coming up out of the ground and taking Kuma away. So Kuma gets rescued here, which leads to Kuma going back to Mary Joelle. So that's great. But in the end, we get to the big event. Imu shows herself to the Gorosei and Cobra, and everyone's shocked. They're like, great, Imu, Cobra is still present. And she just walks up the throne and plops her, I say her, I'm pretty sure it's a girl, his or her butt on the throne, and says one word, Lily. So I don't know Lily's implication to Imu. I mean, I'm guessing that, I mean, we learn later, I mean, spoilers for chapter 1086, we learn Imu was a king of the first 20. But I don't know if this is that Imu. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like Imu and Lily are very heavily connected. When I first read this chapter before the rest were out, I thought that Imu was Lily. Like, just like first thoughts. But I don't know exactly. We're going to get more Expo in the next chapter, and we have a break. 1086 came out this morning. We have a break after for, it's going to be like a month break because Oda is getting eye surgery done. So prayers for Oda. Hopefully he recovers well and gets the rest he needs. And I'll be back with the next chapters after this one, up to 1086. And yeah, hopefully you guys liked. Give it a like and subscribe if you guys did, and I'll see you in the next one.